Hi everybody, it's Mark Messier, and you're listening to Blueshirt
Underground Show,
the #1 Rangers podcast. Make sure you tune in to find out all the latest news. Let's go Rangers!
Blueshirt Underground, motherfucker!
As a Ranger fan, if he as a Ranger fan.
This is an unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York Rangers hockey.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Blueshirt Underground Show. It is Tuesday. It is May 31st. Get ready, motherfuckers, because June hockey is on the way, and I'm not talking about some bubble bullshit COVID crap tournament. I'm talking about the Stanley Cup playoffs, Prince of Wales finals. My name is Jim, and as always, I'm joined on the other side of the window by the one and only Eddie Geik. Eddie! Holy shit! 4 years removed from a rebuild, my friend, and we are headed for the Eastern Conference fucking finals.
We are legit. I love this team. I love everybody.
Too legit to quit?
We're too legit to quit, man. 5 times facing elimination. Can't beat us. Can't defeat us. The Rangers are a team of warriors. And I am so proud to be a Ranger fan at this moment in time. I don't care how they win. They win. And last night was, just a joy to watch the Rangers selling it all in order to win. From your Ryan Lindgren coming back again, hurt, and the Rangers blocking shots, Goodros blocking shots. It's so great to be a Ranger fan. Finally, a team we can be proud of and get behind 100%.
Absolutely. There is so much to talk about, so much to cover, so much to show you. 6 hours. We might do 6 hours tonight. Who knows?
Wow, okay.
We might still be sitting here at 2 a.m.
Yeah, listen. I'm sick. I have to shed all my negative Ranger skin because I just love these guys.
He's going to molt right here on live
I'm
YouTube.
going to molt.
He's going to molt.
This is a team. These are a bunch of men that just they give it their all and they just never say die. And I'm just so happy for them, and I'm happy for all you guys because it's so great to root for a team that has got a lot of heart that matches. And also, I want to talk about the fans that went to that game. They dominated that place.
Absolutely.
And the players,
I heard Igor chants. I heard "Let's Go Rangers." I heard booing of that fucking punk D'Angelo. I heard it all. I heard the goal song. I heard it all. I'm gonna let you talk for a minute, and then I'm gonna talk about the crowd last night. I just want to say there are 65 goddamn people in this chat room. I love every goddamn one of you. Let's get to it.
Okay. Well, I want to say is the players in warm-ups noticed that the Ranger fans were there to back them up, and they appreciate it. They know it. And it really is a special relationship the Ranger fans have. First of all, we travel so well. When they see that, the support, especially in a place where it's been loud previously, it gives them an extra jump. And it's a factor because we are good fans. We are a dedicated fan base. So fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. Now talk about the crowd. You go ahead, and I'm sure I have some thoughts.
Well, all we heard, and we heard it a lot. We heard it in the first round when they played Boston. We heard it in the second round. How loud that crowd is, how great that crowd is, what an inspiration they are to their players. And those fucking front runner, air horn pieces of shit walked out on their team with 10 minutes left in Game 7. And I'm not making it up because they mentioned it on TV. It was enough people walking out of that arena that it was noticeable to the ESPN crew. I don't want to ever fucking hear about a Carolina Hurricanes fan and how dedicated they are again. They are nothing but fucking front runner garbage.
They're Fugazi fans.
Nothing but, they're trolling and a bunch of jerks and their celebrations. Fuck you. We took over your arena. All I heard were Ranger fans. Go the fuck back to your redneck fucking tobacco farms. Fuck you. You stole the Whalers. Fuck all of your fans. Everyone. You tried to keep us out and you couldn't. And then you lost your fucking home ice advantage to the New York goddamn Rangers. There's your storm surge. We got your storm surge right here.
Wow.
You got a storm splooge all over your fucking faces.
Oh, my Lord.
All over. Whaler fans wouldn't have left. Even fucking Islander fans wouldn't have walked out with 10 minutes left in a Game 7.
That's correct.
How do you walk out? How do you walk out? You're such great fans. You come in with your fucking towels and you got Cam Ward. You got
there, and the Rangers went in the third period. They left.
You got Cam Ward revving up your fucking horn, whatever that is. You got that.
Put him in a wall.
You got that Grizzly Adams fuck singing your anthem, and you walk out.
They're a bush.
You walk out. You turn your back and walk out. I would never do that. Never. I don't care if my team was losing 10-0. I wouldn't walk out. But props to the Canes fans that stayed.
Yes.
Because those fuckers stood up with a minute to go and gave their team a standing ovation.
All 12.
For a season well done. Fine. I got no problem with that. Props to you guys. But you still got took it over in your own home because that place was as blue as a garden, baby. Fuck their fans. Fuck that team. Fuck Tony D'Angelo and fuck Ray Ferraro.
That was, I don't use this word, but that was a disgrace by their fans. I don't care what the score is. You hang in there to the end. You don't leave. That place was empty. I mean, it was just Ranger fans.
It's Game 7. That's it. There is no tomorrow, Rock. There is no tomorrow. You're not going to see your team again for 6 months, and you walk out on them? How do you do that? How do you live with yourself? This team, they had 160, and I'm not here to apologize for the fucking Carolina Hurricanes because fuck every goddamn one of them.
I told you, they're not real fans.
But you walk out on your, we're such great fans. Look at the home ice advantage we have. Oh, we're going to leave. We're going to leave. What was the fucking Hardee's closing at 10:30?
There's nothing else to do.
Was the fucking Huddle House closing? Fuck every one of their fans.
Beat the traffic.
Fuck you. Not one of you is worth any Ranger fan on earth.
It
looked like a Coyotes game. It looked like the beginning of a Coyotes game. Thanks, Mike. I would never walk out on a regular season, Thursday night. I got to get home and get to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. maybe I'm walking. Okay, I go home early. Game 7, playoff game. You spent $300-400 to go to that game, and you're turning your back on your team with 10 minutes to go. And those are great fans. Fuck you, Storm Splooge. Storm Splooge.
Wow.
Igor Shesterkin flying over the ice, just laying a load all over you. Get out of here. You're fucking what'd you say? Fugazi fans?
Yes.
That's all they are. Bullshit NASCAR fans. You stole the team from Hartford. That team should move tomorrow. They don't deserve that team. Fuck those fans.
It's terrible.
Terrible, Mikey. Terrible.
Terrible disgrace.
Terrible job, Mikey.
Thrown out of the league.
How do you do it? How do you do that, Mikey?
I mean, you got the fans, and they're leaving. I mean, it's a disgrace. It was
Storm Splooge. I like that one.
All their stupid gimmicks, the scoreboard watching, and that stupid power play. Yeah, they're like 2 for 75 or 2 for 91. That's what I say too, man. All with their power. The cheaters never win. Hey, guess what? The Canes never win. The Rangers came in there and they kicked ass and they took numbers. Well, they took numbers and kicked asses. I don't know how that saying goes, but what a wonderful win. God bless you, Ranger fans, that got to see that live in person and embarrass them.
Every Ranger fan who spent however much of your, as Costa would say, your hard-earned money to go to that game, God bless you, because you guys were loud, you were proud, and the Ranger players definitely knew you guys were there. So props to you.
Yes, they embarrassed those fans with the Tony Sucks chants, with the
everything you hear at Madison Square Garden during Game 6, you heard in Game 7 in their building. Tony D'Angelo was getting booed by Ranger fans in his building.
Exactly.
In his building.
Those fugazi, phony, they're not hockey fans. They're fan of winning. And once things got a little hard, they vamoosed.
Right.
Out to go to the Waffle House. They hit the Waffle House.
Gotta go to Dale Earnhardt 30 for 30s on. I gotta get home.
Yeah. God.
Real Housewives of Atlanta's on. I gotta get home. Andy Griffith's on. I gotta get home. I gotta go.
I gotta go to the Herschel Walker rally.
I tell you what. If I was sitting there, if I'd have gone to that game in my Rangers gear, any Carolina fan that got up and walked out at 10 minutes ago, I would have been relentless.
I would
have walked them to the door.
I would have followed them going, where you going now?
Right. With the air horn behind him. Grant, you lost. Grant, you lost. Grant.
That's what I would have done too.
Where's Teravainen? Grant.
That stupid kid they showed crying. I was like, come on, next, hit him with a puck. I hope a puck hits him, that son of a bitch. I don't care. This is war. I don't care about kids.
Right.
Cry like I did.
I love kids. I mean, I love being around kids.
I hate kids.
I'm a champion of kids. I love being around kids. And in my madness last night, they showed that kid crying on TV, and all I said was, "Fuck him,
fuck him,
fuck him."
Hey, he'll learn.
I love kids. Kids love me. I love kids. I just looked at that kid and I just went,
the most genuine fan in the place.
Fuck him.
At least he was crying.
At least he was crying.
I mean, the other people just fucking wave that towel and watch the scoreboard and tell them what to do. I mean, make some noise. Screw them. Screw them. They're not a real team. The team sucked.
Gotta move that team to Hamilton. Those fans don't deserve them.
What?
They're going to move that team to Hamilton. Those fans don't deserve them.
It's just so spoiled and so entitled. Now this is 2 series in a row where I usually don't hate the opposing team fan base, but I hated both these fan bases. They're a bunch of crybabies. Everything. They don't know the rules.
No,
They don't know. They don't know the rules.
They don't.
I mean, anytime somebody goes down, they want a penalty. They don't even look at what happens.
Right.
And it's just so I'm so
they were chanting they were chanting at the refs because their own goalie fell down and got hurt and they wanted a penalty. On who? Casper the fucking Ghost?
Exactly.
On the Ghost of Mrs. Muir?
Yeah.
On who, Slimer?
I mean, have you ever seen that? The goalie stretches out. His balls are on the fucking ice because he made that stretch. Right?
My balls hurt watching that happen.
Yeah, right. That was tough to watch. And they want a penalty for it.
After that stretch, I can't have kids anymore.
Come on. It was lovely. Those fans are bad. They deserve that. I hope every one of them cries, but they probably don't care. They don't care enough. They left. How do you abandon your team in Game 7?
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. But how about a little Ranger reaction here?
Yeah.
How about this? Oh, wait.
When right at them.
Igor. It's not even possible though. I mean, you can't watch Mika and Kreider with that post-game win hug and just not, it just makes you feel good. This team is so tight. This team is so tight. And, I am amazed at the way the new guys, I've said this before, I'm amazed at the way the new guys, you'd swear these guys have been here 10 years, the way they're all so tight. Cop and Mott. Mott, once again, another great game for Mott. Another Cop. Another great game for Heedle. Another great game for the kid line. I mean,
the fifth. I'm calling him now the fifth Heedle. Pete Best.
The fifth Heedle.
Meet the Heedles. I mean, he came up with another clutch goal. Unbelievable. I told you needed to come from other spots. And the big boys showed up in spades, so to speak. You got the Kreiders, the just everybody. Zibanejad. To me, I'm telling you, I think Zibanejad's he's one of the best players in the league. Best two-way, but he's one of the best two-way players. Let's put it that way. Power play. Adam Fox is such a stud. I think he's even underrated. And he won a Norris Trophy. I mean, what is he? Third, I think, in the playoffs in points now behind McDavid and Draisaitl. On the power play, they were lethal. They were lethal on the power play. They capitalized on the power play.
against a team that was number one on the penalty kill. Number one.
Yep.
And the Rangers made him look foolish. The Rangers
They
made
did.
him pay time and time and time again.
How many times have we said the Rangers over the years, Rangers never make the other team pay? They made them pay almost every time. And there was no bullshit shorthanded goals like there was in the previous games. It was the Rangers wanted it more. The Rangers had the better skilled players. There was a lot of disappearances on the Carolina. Jesper Fast, I don't think had a point. Maybe I don't know what happened at the end of the game. Those were like useless goals. The D'Angelo goal, big deal, big whoop.
Right. At that point, the celebration was on.
Yeah, it was like the
those were fantasy points right there.
Yes,
that's all. That was stat padding.
What did they say? That garbage time goal.
Right, garbage time. Rick Nash goals.
Ryan Lindgren, I'm seeing people just the accolades, man.
How great is this guy? How great is line? I mean, you talk about it, they like a guy that they talk about. They say this more in baseball, a guy that could play in any era. Ryan Lindgren could have played in any era. I mean, he is just, as you would say, one tough hombre. He goes off the ice. He's on one leg. The guy's on one leg. If he was a dog, they would have shot him. He goes off the ice on one leg. The next thing you know, he's sitting on the bench again. And everybody's surprised except Ranger fans. And not only is he back on the bench, he gets out on the ice and he's skating just fine.
Yeah.
He looked just fine once he came back on the ice.
Yeah.
I don't know what runs. I don't know what's in his veins. I don't know if he's part Borg or if he's, if he's just, I don't know. I don't know if he tuned it up in the locker room and got a shot. I don't know what he does, but
I don't know. Whatever it took.
Unreal.
Just, there's so many of those guys like, and I saw Mario talk about Justin Braun, who's been serviceable. Ever since Patrick Nemeth got exorcised from this fucking roster, this starting lineup, but the Rangers have been fine.
Much better with Braun in the lineup. Much better.
Also, I there's just like Barkley, Goodrow. The Rangers blocked a lot of shots last night, and they outblocked more. They outblocked Carolina by a wide margin. The Rangers sold out 100%.
25-8 in block shots.
Come on. Yeah, and if you block 25 shots and you got Igor in net, it's not going to be a close game. And Barkley, Goodrow was laying out. The forwards were laying out all over the place. Defensemen. It's a commitment to win that the Rangers had. These guys, Carolina did not have the commitment to win.
Jacob Trouba blocked 5 shots. Ryan Lindgren blocked 4 shots. And Ryan Lindgren, I don't know exactly how long he was off the ice. It had to be at least 7 to 8 minutes of ice time, but he still had 20 minutes of ice time last night.
Right.
Goodrow blocked 3 shots. And is it fair to say that Barclay Goodrow coming off his deathbed in Game 6 was that the turning point?
I think so. I think it's one of the turning points.
Make a difference.
He made that fourth line like, okay, and I just, he's a different. That's why the Rangers got him. That's why the genius Chris Drury got him.
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
And he's also very good. And Sean McCaffrey, I'm reading the chat room. These Corsi analytical guys, they buried the Rangers. They buried. They're not there. They're not well with the analytics. It doesn't matter. It's the will to win.
Well, okay. Let me ask you one question though.
Okay.
And this is not necessarily in defense of analytics, but it's a question that the analytic nerds raise. That face-offs are not important. And the Rangers continue to get slaughtered in faceoffs, but all they do is win. They won 33% of their faceoffs last night and kicked Carolina's ass. I mean, that was a dominant win.
Yes.
That was not your typical Game 7. That was a dominant, at least on the score sheet, win.
Right. Wouldn't you say, though, that our New York Rangers do not win conventionally?
They kind
of conjure up this magic. You know, they come with these big plays, but
they just go against all convention that everything you think you need to do to win a hockey, the Rangers just go against it.
Right. I mean, they get outshot. Usually, I said, if the Rangers cut their shots on goal down like by 10 shots a game, I think they would be unbeatable. Because they spend a lot of time, and the other team spends a lot of time in the Ranger zone. But the Rangers, they've got a certain kind of magic, and they come up with big goals. They're a big play team.
Carolina had 19 giveaways last night. That was huge. And, I keep harping back on it. Tony DeAngelo, throughout this series, but I thought more so than last night, was an absolute nightmare with the puck.
Garbage.
Constantly losing the puck.
Giving it away.
It away. Couldn't hold the puck at the line. He was a nightmare with the puck.
I think
all the little things that go into winning a hockey game, the Rangers did them all in Game 6 and Game 7, and that's why they're moving on. And they got the goaltending.
I'm so proud of the kid line. Hedel is getting the goals. Lafreniere is making the passes. Kako, that line. They haven't shrunk in these playoffs, which is great. And Kreids, who had been struggling, he comes up with a big goal. It was a nasty tip in from Mika. What a pass from Mika. I mean, I am just from top to bottom, I love every Ranger. I love this group. You saw that hugging and all that stuff. They're really tight. They're really tight in the room.
It's a very close-knit group.
Yes. And
I don't know. I honestly don't know if in my lifetime, if there's ever been a team that was this closely bonded. I really don't. The 94 team, yeah, I mean,
there were a lot of
mercenaries on that team.
Right.
There were a lot of hired guns.
Yeah.
This team has a togetherness about them. This team genuinely seems to, it's all big love fest.
Yes. I totally agree with you.
And one thing I forgot in my Carolina fans rant. I'm gonna bring this up. When Carolina sits down and tries to figure out exactly what went wrong, they could blame this guy right fucking here. Look at this fucking tool.
Look at his jacket.
Game 7 of the second round, and you bring a fake fucking cup into the arena and you touch it. You don't do that. You don't ever do that, you fucking moron.
What a Momo.
Soon as I saw that, I said to Jen, we're going to win this game. This guy's tempting fate of the hockey.
He doesn't know anything about it. I tell you, he's a Fugazi fan.
Doesn't matter whether he knows it or not.
Career game.
Somebody should have stopped him on the way in. I would have stopped him on the way in. You don't do that. You don't tempt the thing. You don't tempt the wrath of the guy high atop the thing.
How many old Carolina?
You do.
Because in our world, there are older Ranger fans that can tell you what to do and what not to do. There's no old Carolina Hurricane fans. Old Carolina. I was in Hartford, and it was, you don't bring a cup there, sonny boy, and tell it in the bag.
There's two guys that remember playing Stoughton with the Hartford Whalers, and that's about it.
Right. So, fucking stupid. Bunch of stupids.
You don't tempt the wrath. Hockey gods are fickle. Hockey gods are fickle. They were shining on Carolina 3-2, and then all of a sudden, they just changed their minds. So now we like the Rangers better.
And Rod Brindamore,
fickle.
He was like he was just so quizzical on how they lost the series. He's like, I thought we played a good game in game 6. I thought we played a good game in 5. I thought we played a good game 4. I thought everything he thought was a good game, but they couldn't put the puck in the net. They did play pretty good games if you want to talk, like we were talking about, like face-offs and scoring chances and stuff like that. But their players ultimately let them down. Svechnikov, Ungats, Aho, minimal damage. Taravainen was fairly decent. Trocheck, and I got to hear how great Jacob Slavin is, and Tony D. Tony D stunk. Brady Shea wasn't much either. And you were right. I think somebody mentioned when we were doing the other shows on Patreon that how could this team be clutch if it's got a bunch of ex-Rangers on it that were losers?
Right.
Svechnikov only had 1 goal. He had 30 in the regular season. You know how I know
Jacob
that?
Slavin, who they touted at every opportunity, was a -3 last night.
Oh, Seth Jarvis. Seth Jarvis.
We didn't even get to that yet. We're half hour in. We didn't even get to Trouba blowing Seth Jarvis in the next week.
Destruction of Seth Jarvis. He sent them back into the draft. It was so that kid was so out of it. It was unbelievable. Jacob Trouba, what a hit. And just
clean.
And of course.
Learn the rules, Gaines fans. Clean hit.
They don't even they don't know the rules. They don't care if the scoreboard doesn't tell them. They don't know what to do. Fucking dopes. That was a demolition of Seth Jarvis. That guy was crawling on his knees, and I don't know if I can still say this in this day and age, but he was on Queer Street. I mean, this guy was he was like, Mommy, where's my tricycle? He was like, he couldn't even sit on the bench. He got on the bench. I think he fell off the bench.
If you ever played Mutant League hockey for Sega,
game,
which was a great game, you used to score on the goalie or something like that, and the goalie would go yab yab yoy, and then he would explode. That was Jarvis last night. Yab yab yoy.
Well, that
Mutant League hockey was a fantastic game.
Oh yeah, that was a great game.
The New York Strangers.
That was very Scott Stevens type hit. And that's the way he's become. I mean, I think Stevens did a little bit more often because the game was a little bit different then. But Trouba has done this, 8, 9 times so far this year, where he's really – that was a turning point of the game as well, because I feel like now you got Seth Jarvis is like, he's out for the game. He ain't coming back, and – he was one of their more effective players, and now they lose him, and then Ranta loses his couillons on the ice. Everything is going right with the Rangers. So it was unbelievable. Yeah, you're right, Danielle, about ESPN covering it. They didn't even mention like that colossal hit, and then they thought he lost the blade. That's how bad it was, the way he was crawling.
Right.
They thought he lost his hockey blade, his skate blade. And
he lost his hockey IQ is what he lost.
Dude, that guy.
He can't do math this morning.
He's not a big guy either. He doesn't have a lot of weight to him. So, I mean, it was like he was in a car crash. After that. I mean, I hope he's all right now, because I can give a shit because they're eliminated.
Hopefully he was able to make it out onto the golf course today.
Well, I'm telling you, I can't wait to go back to Raleigh next year. And maybe I'll go see a regular season game and fucking just lay into those idiots. So, yes. What was his actual injury? I don't know. Upper body. That's all you get nowadays. Upper body, lower body.
Yeah, I didn't actually hear.
Yeah. So, yes. Do you have the clip of that dope talking about how dirty the Trouba hit was or not?
It takes me a second to get it if you want to watch. If you want to check
You
it
guys
out.
want to watch this kid that I think on the Patreon show we may have played with video. He looks like fucking like Jerry Lewis from the 50s, and I don't know why he's a Penguin fan and he's still calling these live games. I mean, come on, women. I mean, you got anything else to do except call live games on a podcast? And this kid. Now listen, I gotta say, Cutter is a lot of things, but Cutter is not a whiner. Okay? No, he's not. He's not really. When he's talking about hockey and he's on point, he's not a whiner. This kid, and everyone should go to his channel and tell him to go. And actually, I think Jim went to his channel and fucking
I've already been there.
He's already been there.
And I have to, and by the way, I have to thank Jen for sending me this. And I had already gone to sleep, and I woke up to a bunch of Twitter links from her and a bunch of YouTube links. She's like, "Oh, you got to watch this. You got to watch this. You got to watch this." So thank you to Jen for bringing this to my attention. And I watched this afternoon, and the minute I did, I had to comment. So here we go.
Everybody, I just can't believe this hit Jacob Trouba on Seth Jarvis.
I just can't believe this hit by Jacob Trouba. I can't believe it. It's
lady!
I can't believe this hit.
I just can't believe this garbage that continues to go on. And Jarvis got hit in the head. He's crawling off the bench. Well, crawling off the ice to the bench. Hey, looks like he's given some medical attention on the bench. But this is absolutely sickening. Jacob Trouba does it again.
Sickening! It's a clean fucking hit, you moron!
Hey, lady! The man just keeps gooning it up. Anytime he can, he goons it up.
He goons it up!
It's sickening. In Mr. Goon himself, George Perry.
Mr. Goon.
Just letting him get away with it. This is why you don't let a man who has 169 career fights in the NHL be the head of player safety. Hey, lady! It's ridiculous. It makes me sick. All the way back to the Penguin series with Crosby. It's sickening.
Get that. Whatever this guy is, this link, this code, get on Patreon. Joey Wagner, the truth. Joey Wagner, the doof. The goof.
So right here, you see, because he kept saying, "I can't believe it. I can't believe it." I said, "I just can't believe you wasted your time ranting about a clean hit. Learn the rules, Phyllis."
And I would look, because I look at the other podcast and I look at the comments, and then I see that Jim's already been there and fucking laid waste to the guy. I'm laughing.
Jim already planted the BSU flag. But look at all the comments. Everybody's telling it's a clean hit. Get over it, Phyllis.
Get over it, Phyllis. And there was some other broad that I'm telling you, guy is a total gun grabber. Oh, man. God, I don't know what the hell he was watching. Why is all these hits by him? Just like it was with Crosby. Like, why are these
Goon, Mr. Goon?
Mr. Goon, George Peros. Shut up before I give you a slap. I mean, come on, dudes. I mean, if it was dirty, I would fess up to being dirty. I wouldn't care if it was dirty unless there was a suspension going to be levied. But
Rolo, it's so sickening, says the dude with the bulimic voice.
You got to see this cat. He's a real winner.
He's heroin chic.
Yeah, he's just.
By the way, since we have so many people here in this chat room, I'm guessing that at least some of you are watching this program for the first time. This is what we do.
Yeah,
this is what we do. There's a lot of goofing on people. You know, this is not. If you're looking for serious hockey talk, I recommend putting on Sirius.
We're not going to break down every play.
Right. I'm not going to give you anybody's Corsi or any of that bullshit. We're just here to have fun.
I was talking to Jim about
furniture out of his ass.
Now, I was talking to Jim about this. When Strome screwed up that play, how many people were like, trade this guy, he sucks, and then he scored and got that third goal. How many of you guys did that quick turnaround like I did?
I told you, asked me before we came on, I was so stunned that he missed it that I had no other reaction beyond stupefaction, if that's even a word. Like, I mean, Jen and I were already celebrating, and then all of a sudden we realized that I'm like, what happened? Hey, what happened?
Stunned disbelief.
Hey, what happened? Exactly.
I know. I
couldn't believe it.
I was on a group thread and like 9 texts came through. He fucking sucks. This guy's get rid of him. And it was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Where's that one? I want to hear that one. I love these.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It sounds like Stemkowski is like orgasming him that was the last Game 7 win. But he's not in the booth. You told me you were listening to Sam yesterday.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh. Now you were listening to Sam in the last 5 or so minutes.
With about 5 minutes to go last night, I was fairly confident that even the Rangers couldn't fuck up this parade. And I turned down the ESPN audio and I put the Rangers feed on the app, and I listened to Sam for the last 5 minutes. And let me tell you something. Maybe Sam should be doing radio, because the old Sam, the Sam that we really grew up with and love, was there on the radio. The one that actually likes the Rangers, the one that, enjoys seeing them do well. It was all there. He was having fun with Maloney. They were kidding around. The chemistry was there. Sam was rooting for the Rangers. He said, what a marvelous night this is for the Rangers and their fans. And he was talking about all the fans in the crowd. And Dave Maloney got up with like a minute to go, and you actually heard Maloney like slam his headphones down, and Sam says, Dave Maloney has to go do a TV hit. He actually said TV hit, which I thought was funny. And he goes, I'll see you Wednesday, my man.
Maybe Sam is just too uptight on the TV broadcast.
I think it's Joe. I blame Joe. Joe makes him uptight. He has no chemistry with Joe. Joe's the most awkward individual he's awkward. I just think Sam sounded like he was having fun. Legit having fun. I mean, being up 6-2 helps.
Hey, Sam, we must consume the pizza isn't exactly
being up 6-2 helps.
Yeah.
By the way, quick funny story. Speaking of the score, Jen had to work last night. She had to go into work she had to be at work at 11 o'clock, which means she had to leave our house by about 10:30. So, during the day, we're talking about the game, and she was upset that she had to leave for work. And she said, but I'll be listening to it on my way to work. And she says, hopefully it doesn't go to overtime. I said, yeah, what you need tonight is a nice quick game. And I said, really, best case scenario, when you leave for work, it's 5-1 Rangers, and you don't have to worry like a tight game. You drive off the road. When she left the house, it was 5-1 Rangers.
Oh,
and then by the time she got to work, it was 6-2. But when she left the house, it was 5-1.
Yeah. Listen, I don't even want to be brought down with the announcing situation right now. I'm just so proud of this team. I've said it many times on this show. I don't care if the Rangers. I want to be proud of the guys I spent so much time and effort rooting for, like the rest
all those rookie cards.
Right.
Filipino rookie cards went up last night.
Yeah, I bet they did. And you'll see my name selling them. I've invested a lot of money in this guy. Half the guys I had to throw out my Morgan Barron cards and all the guys who got traded at the deadline, the Tomo Runenins and all this stuff. But anyway, I didn't see that dead. Goodros Dad called 6-2.
Yes, Barclay Goodros' dad in the afternoon yesterday, he tweeted out that the Rangers would win 6-2.
I saw that Adam Fox said his father can't watch it. He gets too nervous. The Game 7s, he can't watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like a Canes fan.
Yes. And yes. But he they were saying Kreider is just so serious in these post games. But he was saying that
he had a funny moment with Adam Fox's post game, though. Did you see that?
I saw a little bit. He kind of broke in on it late with the chair, and
yes, very funny.
Yeah,
and he sits right up against them,
right? But Kreider just says, "Listen, it's a 20-person game. It takes 20 people to win, and that's really what it does take." And the Rangers keep showing that. The Rangers, they spend a little bit too much time in their own end. They do a lot of things that aren't really conventional, but they get it done because they believe in each other, and that was it. It's just the case. And these guys have 14 games of playoff experience, which we wanted. And now the Rangers, which baffles me, Jim. It doesn't baffle me, but we got home advantage.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Right. It's kind of weird.
In the first round. They don't have it in the second round. Now they got it back in the third round.
And
that's hockey, Susan.
That's hockey, Phyllis.
Right.
So it's just a great ride. I can't be disappointed. I mean, I got expectations, but I can't ultimately be disappointed because the Rangers they're a young team, the youngest team in the playoffs. They made the Final Four. I mean, Everybody starts out thinking they're going to win a Stanley Cup. They made trades. They prepared. We're one of the four left, which to me is an incredible season.
Absolutely.
You got a new coach, a new GM. You bring guys on the deadline that fit in so perfectly.
But like I said in our game thread last night, I can't subscribe to this is all just gravy.
Well, I saw that comment.
Because when I got more gravy, I just want more pasta, more meatballs, more bread, and more dessert. I just want more. Give me more.
Yes. I mean, literally, I think, but I'm not saying it's gravy. I'm of the fact I just feel so good about the team. It's all I want. I want that team to care as much as I care. And they have shown it over and over again. And nobody respects them. We said this at the beginning of the season. Nobody likes the Rangers, especially north of the border. And also, we're finding out through Ferraro and the referees. Let me tell you about it. You know what was the shadiest moment in that game last night? In the second period, folks, what did you see happen behind the Rangers' net? You never, ever see this. I bet nobody picked this up. There was a battle on the boards behind the Rangers' net in the second period.
Right.
And something happened that I've never seen happen in the last 15 years. Does anybody know?
I don't know.
The referees blew the whistle to get a stoppage. They always are saying, play the puck. Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys.
Right. But you're right. Yeah. I know. Now I remember exactly when you're talking about. Because as a matter of fact, I even said to Jen, they let Carolina do this for minutes at a time.
Right. But they didn't want time to drain down and kill Carolina's chances of coming back. I mean, a minimum 1-0, 2-0. I said, what is this? I haven't seen this since Phil Esposito played. But they just didn't go because there always used to be fights. And so they would just blow the whistle.
Jen got it.
Now it's not move the puck, boys. Move the all right.
Right.
I found that really shady, man. You know, and it just, blew the whistle. Jen's got it. Yep. It's a joke.
She's a smart cookie.
Yeah, she is. She knows her puck.
She does.
You know, I mean, this is what they usually are like yelling at the players to freaking move the puck. Yep. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Blah, 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 blah. No. Let's get a whistle. Let's keep Carolina in this. Dummies.
Let's keep Carolina in this.
Let's give them another face-off win.
Let's give them another face-off win.
I thought everybody was fine on the back end. I don't know who I've left off. Reeves, I don't know what he wound up. He was okay. Love Goodrow. I love Mott. Love the kid line. A lot of people thought Panarin had a pretty good game. I didn't really notice him all that much.
I thought he had a good game. I thought he played well. I thought he moved. I thought he moved the puck very well. I thought he did a great job. Carolina had, it was either I think it was a 2-on-1, and he was the one that got back and broke the play up. I thought last night was actually one of the better games he's played. He looked a little more like himself.
Right.
I have one more clip I want to show.
Sure.
And then we could talk. Brian Attard is here and Costa's here.
Oh!
But I was thinking it's interesting as a Ranger fan when I know the Rangers are starting to make a little noise when people who don't typically talk hockey start talking hockey. Like all of a sudden the Daily News gives a shit about the Rangers again.
Oh, but really?
What I thought was interesting was tonight Jen and I went out, got a little something to eat, and had a beer before she had to go to work, and ESPN was on TV, and Pardon the Interruption was on, and they were talking about the Rangers.
Whoa.
And I've watched that show a lot, and I've never seen them talk hockey at all. But here's a little bit of Pardon the Interruption from tonight, and thank you to ESPN for putting it on demand. Oh, hold on. Let me hold on before I do this. Let me make sure I have the audio turned on. Hang on 1 second. Yep, see, I didn't. You would have been hearing a whole lot of nothing. There we go. Bring them back. Oh, wrong window.
Hey, lady.
There we go. Now we got it.
Tracks on Jimbo Fisher, but we begin today with the New York Rangers crushing Carolina 6-2.
They began, Pardon the Interruption, talking about the Rangers, Eddie.
I love it. Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
In Game 7 last night in Carolina, where the Hurricanes had not lost a single playoff game. Both of us thought Carolina had a distinct advantage at home because of their 7-0 record, but the Rangers got the first 4 goals and they were never threatened. Wilbon, how do you explain the Rangers cruising to a Game 7 win in Carolina?
They played better. They got up early, Tony, and that second goal, which was a power play goal, I turned on right as they were celebrating the power play goal to make it 2-0. And I was like, whoa, the Rangers are up 2-0 on a Carolina team that has been dominant at home. The thing is, though, Carolina's been dominant at home. They won their games at home. I think they were 7-0 in home playoff games, but they didn't score a lot. And so 2-0, which is often referred to, you know, as the dangerous 2-0 lead, because teams often come back from 2-0. It's the third goal that really sort of ices it and takes control of the game. The Rangers got that too, and the fourth goal, and you're like, okay, I'm turning on the Law and Order reruns now. I was not expecting the Rangers to do this at Carolina. I don't know what the Vegas line was, but man, they took the suspense out of that one fairly early, didn't they?
Yeah, as I said yesterday, this proves there's a moral law somewhere in the universe because provincial goobers in North Carolina attempted to block Ranger fans from buying tickets to see the game in Carolina, and the NHL was gutless, and they allowed this. So this is
provincial goobers.
Just ending as far as I'm concerned. But like you, I don't really understand how it happened. They were up 2-0 pretty quick. And then the goalie went down, and he went down doing a split on a save, and it looked like he ripped every muscle out of both hamstrings. And the new kid who came in wasn't up to it all. And the Rangers, Igor Shesterkin, was up to it. He did not allow a goal into the third period. And you said that Carolina didn't score a lot, but they were plus 17 goal differential in those 7 games at home. And the Rangers, Mike, the Rangers in the last 2 games beat them by a total score of 11-4. And if this was Saga, Carolina would be relegated next year. They'd be in Division 2.
But they couldn't score, Tony, which is to the point now. You got Rangers and the Ning. I like annoying people in the Tampa area because I call them the Ning. You got that coming up as your Eastern Conference final.
And maybe, Tony, maybe it's like 1994 for the Rangers. They're mad.
All right, then they just start talking about 1994. So, provincial goobers trying to keep the Ranger fans out. But how about I like the fact that Tony Kornheiser calls out the NHL.
Oh, I love that.
With ESPN having a bit. I mean, that doesn't usually you don't throw your bread out when it's buttered there. You know.
Yeah,
it's because nobody gives a shit about the NHL. That's why.
Right, and these guys are not. They're the most, they're not experts, but at least they're covering it. They're doing their due diligence and covering a major story.
Right. I just liked hearing. I watched those guys. I don't watch them a lot, but I've seen them quite a few times. I've never seen them talk about hockey. So for them to lead off with the Rangers and be sitting at we're sitting at our favorite spot. I'm like, holy shit, they're talking about the Rangers.
Right. Maybe Potsy and Cawley could go over there. I don't know. Potsy and Cawley. So those bootleg shirts outside. Yeah. They wanted to talk about, some of the people in the chat room wanted to talk about that Hookie Faluki viewing party they had.
Viewing party?
That looked like it was not really well attended.
Sparse.
Yeah.
I would call the crowd sparse. And an extremely small viewing screen that looked like it was. I mean, it looked like you were sitting in one end zone watching a 50-inch television in the other end zone. I mean, I don't know how the hell. Other than just being around other Ranger fans, I don't see how that was enjoyable at all.
It didn't look cool. Like, I don't know.
You know what? I'm fine out on the patio, which, by the way, is now 7-1.
Wow.
7-1 on the patio.
So you won't be going to the patio anymore. Well, I know. I'm just bagging on your. There were limited tickets for that event. First of all, you can't hear the sound at 10 o'clock.
Right.
And there's limited tickets, like some exclusive thing not to be able to hear the game in the third.
They don't want too many people around Glenn Anderson.
Yeah. God. Yeah. Well, whatever. I'm sure
I didn't see any pictures of which of the alumni showed up, but I'm sure it was the same cast of characters.
The same cast of characters. Nobody after 2008. I don't know if they have anybody. Who's like the newest player in that?
Colton Orr, they've been dragging out for some stuff a little bit.
He retired for like 5 years or 6 years. I don't know.
He's more recent than Glenn Anderson.
And how many games did Colton Orr play for the Rangers?
What's that?
How many games did Colton Orr actually suit up for the Rangers?
A couple of seasons, right?
He's under or over Kotze?
Over.
Over? Okay.
You want me to double check?
Yeah. Let's just do this.
You want to go to the top page?
Go to the alumni page.
The alumni page. Colton Orr, 477 NHL games, a total of 224 as a New York Ranger.
He destroys.
5 seasons in blue. Now to Chris Kotsopoulos. I got to spell it right. There he is. The 224 was the magic number. Chris Kotsopoulos had 479 games played and played 54 games as a New York Ranger.
God. You know, Matthew's talking about bring out Dubinsky. Dubinsky, I heard, was tweeting he's a big Ranger supporter.
He was trolling Crosby.
Oh, well, he always does, I bet.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that he's a pro Ranger. I love that.
Absolutely. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger.
Yes.
He probably spent as many years with the Blue Jackets as he did with the Rangers, right? Close to it?
Close to it, I would think. He's been so injured. Is he going to retire or what?
I think he's retired officially.
Oh, he is. Well, let's
6 years with the Rangers, 7 years with Columbus. 430 games as a Blue Jacket, as a Coat, 393 games as a Ranger.
I don't understand why they would have.
But in his heart, he's still a Ranger.
Yes.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
4 million goes a long way. You know what? 4 million is nothing nowadays.
Right.
Shows you when we did the bit. Anthony
Underpaid.
Grantchev, I think he's coaching or something. He's doing something. He's probably on the front lines of the Ukraine right now as we speak. So I was just so proud of the boys. Let's talk about Shesterkin a bit. I mean,
want to bring Brian in to talk about Shesterkin?
What?
You want to bring Brian in to talk?
Bring in Brian.
He's been waiting for a long time. Let's bring Brian Attard in. Everybody knows Brian's been around forever. He's the star of commercials. He
got a podcast. I watched his podcast.
Blue Truth.
Yeah. Good podcast, Brian.
One of the all-time greats. What's going on, Brian? How are you?
Am I on? I look like I'm frozen on my end.
You are on. You are live.
Okay. My face looks frozen. That's okay. I don't want to look at me anyway. I can't believe it. I mean, that was the first time all series we could breathe. And it was in the 7th game.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's true.
I just, you know what it was, though? I had like a quiet confidence. You know what that series reminded me of? You remember 2013 when they played Washington and they were down 3-2 going into game 6 at home, and then Henrik shut them out 2-0. And you figure, okay, that was their high point. That was great. They showed some fight. And then they went into Washington game 7 and they put the smack down 5-0. It wasn't even
5-0, right? Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. It reminded me so much of that. And I had like that confidence coming into that game because as good as I thought Carolina was, they sure weren't playing like it. So I wasn't really that concerned. I thought the series ended up being more about what the Rangers were or were not doing than what Carolina was or wasn't doing. That it was like they were the ones that were deciding whether they were going to win or lose by depending how they played.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, I think everybody I knew had this like a confidence about him for that game, because I think bottom line was for me is Carolina couldn't score, and if you can't score, you can't win. And I mean, you know, all the other stats could just go bye-bye as far as I'm concerned. You know, the way it worked out. I mean, how do you win 33% of your faceoffs and get a game 7 and dominate? I mean, on the scoreboard.
Right.
The irony is they were the worst team in the league in faceoffs. Tampa was second worst.
Oh, I didn't know that. So that's something.
And Edmonton was 4th worst, and I think Colorado was 8th worst. Like, it wasn't as if it really mattered, ironically enough. We always say, like, you know, win a stupid, you know, faceoff, but it hasn't mattered. It actually hasn't mattered in actual reality, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going against all conventional wisdom.
I think there's just a big moment team. They find a way to win. This is this has been the map all year, how they win. Getting outshot, Shesterkin, and I think it's driving a lot of people crazy because they can't, you know, outside of the Ranger fans who've watched this all year, and you know, there'll be people who are going to think that Tampa is going to sweep them in the next round because now it's going to be Vasilevsky in net, and it's not going to be the second and third stringers. But I think the Rangers are just going to, you know, I feel fairly confident because I'll never be fully confident, but the Rangers are going to give them a run for their money. You know, I believe Vasilevsky didn't have he started off kind of shaky in the first round. And, you know, the Rangers played Tampa pretty well this year. So they
won all 3 games.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. You know, it's weird. I just want to finish this up. I feel like if the Rangers get a split at home, that would be good enough for me. But they've played so incredible at home. If they win 2 games, this could be really like excitement, total excitement. You know,
they haven't lost a clean game at home in the playoffs. I don't count game 1 against Pittsburgh. That was stolen from them. So To use a wrestling term, nothing's been clean. It's been a little, you know.
Right.
This is, Chris Kreider being second all time in the history of the NHL with goals in elimination games says to me this team plays too many elimination games. So,
Yes.
And Tampa is not like Carolina. They're not like Pittsburgh. Like, they will put the knife to your throat once they have you on the ground. They will close like Mariano Rivera. So the one thing this team cannot do, they cannot fall down 2 games to this team. They cannot go down 3-1. That is a death sentence. For as good as you play with your back against the wall, that's wonderful. If you could possibly have your back against the wall slightly less, that would be ideal for the rest of us to handle it. So a lot's made of, the Rangers played this goalie, that goalie. Who the hell has Tampa Bay played? Like, Jack Campbell's as a trophy winner, right? And Sergei Bobrovsky, they can't get rid of him fast enough.
Right,
So
yeah.
I don't want to
He
hear
was very
anything
disappointing.
about, Tampa, if I were them guys, and I would have rather played Carolina.
And also,
I really feel that.
I feel like the Rangers were also jammed up by that man-on-man defense that Carolina played. They were stifled. I think there may be more room for the Rangers to skate in this series, which behooves the Rangers. That's the way they want to play.
After game two.
I think, the Penguins, one of the thing the Penguins can do well is they have a lot of stars that can score. And then Carolina, the thing that they can do well is they can defend well. And Tampa does both of those things pretty well. And then this is the first series where the Rangers don't have a decided advantage in net. So I think it's going to be obviously it's going to be a tougher series for them, but I don't think it's unwinnable. I think the Rangers will definitely be in this series. I don't think it'll be a short series. And I don't, also Florida can't defend at all. At all. I mean, that was their problem all year long. And the Rangers can. And, so I think that'll give Tampa some trouble. But I'll just say the same thing I said, about 2 weeks ago, that if you'd have told me that the Rangers were going to the Eastern Conference Finals and that Florida and Carolina would be out of the playoffs, I would tell you that the Rangers are going to the Stanley Cup. That's what I would have told you. I didn't expect Tampa to still be in the race and have played as well as they did. But I think a lot of that was how badly Florida played and how badly they defend. I mean, they were terrible. And
Bobrovsky wasn't good. He wasn't good either.
Like both of you have said, he's not a big time goaltender. He's never been the goaltender that he's always been a little overrated. And I think it's going to be a good series. Can I see them winning? Absolutely. Can I see them losing? Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they got some. They don't. They've got some with Kucherov and Stamkos. No Braden Point definitely helps the Rangers.
That's big.
Yeah, because he is a big time player.
I will tell you this, and I hate delving into history. I don't see this team getting shut out 2-0 at home in a game 7.
No, but you said it. We owe them one. And you think about the storylines, I mean, of the way life works out, is here come the Rangers out of nowhere. And they have the chance to be the ones that end the dominance of the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have not lost a playoff series in 10 now, after Tampa Bay was the team that effectively shut the window back in 2015. Like, we owe them one.
Be a nice way to reopen the window. To open the new window, right?
Oh, I would love. There's how many players played in that game 7? We want Kreider, right?
That's it.
Is Kreider the only one?
I don't think Zibanejad was here yet.
Zibanejad wasn't here yet.
He was traded
right?
in the off. It was in the off season.
Right.
The trade for Brassard. He's the only one left. He's the old guy now.
Yeah, he's mentioned that, and some of the media availabilities that it's hard for kind of him to imagine himself as the old guy, but he is.
I know. It makes us feel old. I'll tell you that. I remember when he came into the league 10 years ago in the playoffs.
Well, I feel like this show has existed the entire scope of Chris Kreider's career.
Right.
I mean, we were basically just getting our start when he was drafted. And now he's the old man on the team, and we're the old men of internet radio or podcasting or video casting, whatever we call it.
Blog Talk still exists.
Rangers infotainment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to read this series. I mean, this is Goliath, right? I mean, like, if they get through this team, I fear nobody.
I'm just so excited to be. I don't know. I'm just so excited to be playing in the playoffs, and they got a listen. They got a good chance. We know McDonough is stellar. We know Hedman is stellar. But I think Sergachev is hurt, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the other defenseman is banged up. And I think Jim's point. If you would have said, "All right, the Rangers got to play Tampa Bay, and they avoid Florida and Carolina," well, yeah, I'd say that's a good deal. And I'm just excited to be here. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm sure I'll be frustrated during the series when things go wrong, but sometimes a team has some kind of magic. They may not exactly deserve it if you look at the overall stats and all this stuff, but there's some kind of thing that's happening with the Rangers.
Tampa's, at least one thing we don't have to hear about anymore. We won't have to hear the word playoff experience anymore. I mean, this team, they just beat two teams with gobs of playoff experience. So playoff experience now is no longer an issue. So at least we got that going for us. And like I said at the top of the show, and like Joe Catroni just said in the chat room, we are 24 hours away from June hockey. New York Rangers June hockey, not August hockey in a bubble in Canada. Real, honest to goodness, means something June hockey.
To that point, though, Tampa's played a lot of hockey in a very short period of time. So they're like the second oldest team in the league too. Now, I wouldn't mind their roster, obviously, but again, these are not spring chickens anymore, and they've been there and they've done that. Like at some point, dynasties die, and it just like doesn't it feel like this would be the kind of team that takes them down? I mean, remember the Islanders, who stink, took this team to 7 games last year.
Right.
So It's not. They were a goal away, right? So again, I don't think anybody can go into the series and say, "Oh, the Rangers are fodder. This is going to be a short series."
And 7 in the bubble, right? Was that a 7-game series?
I think it was 5.
Was it? I thought it was 7 that year too.
You're gonna make me look now. 6 games. It was 6 games.
6. Okay.
I thought it was 5.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the Islanders couldn't score goals last year. I mean, they defended. So now again, you put Igor against them, it's going to be tough for Tampa Bay to score goals. I'm not.
Now, yeah. I'll ask both of you, and Eddie, I'll ask you first. Do you think? Well, first I'll give you my opinion, then I'll ask what you think. Tampa's had 9 days off. Obviously, they're going to be well rested. I think that makes it. I think that's going to hurt them a little bit in game 1. I think it's very, very important for the Rangers to get off to a good start in game 1 and win game 1. Because I think it's going to take Tampa a little while to find their legs and shake off the rust. I think it's very important. And I think it's okay that the Rangers played last night. Get right back at it. Just keep rolling. No slowdown in the momentum. Just keep going. So I expect, I really think that tomorrow night's a real important game. I think the Rangers need to come out, play well, and I think Tampa's going to have some rust. What do you think, Eddie?
I don't think it really makes a difference. I think from what I've heard from the coaches and the players, rest is good sometimes, rest is rust. I would love to see the Rangers take it. The Rangers, last night was the exception. The Rangers don't come out all that well. I always feel like that we kind of have this expectation that they'll want it and they'll take it, and then it's nothing. It's a big. How many times we get on Reeves for doing the release of Shesty, and then there's nothing. It's a complete poop fest.
But
also, you're convincing me with your argument. I want to
my argument
right now.
All right, well, good.
All right.
And how about that? The other factor tomorrow night. The Garden is going to be nuts. I mean, the Garden's been pretty loud throughout the playoffs, like louder than we've heard it in a long time. But now you had a lot of these people, these people went home Saturday night, and I'm sure, a lot of them had to be thinking this might be the last we see of the Rangers. And now here they are back Wednesday night, game 1. And here we go again. I think tomorrow night, the place is going to be a zoo. A jungle.
Brian, what do you think?
As our pseudo captain. So, Brian, what do you think?
I see both sides of it. I see the fact that, yeah, there could be some rust, but this team's been there and done that before. Like, this is, you have about playoff experience. They don't have any more playoff experience than Tampa Bay Lightning. So, I mean, I think the Rangers need to not fall behind this team. I think they have a great shot to go win game one and, like, kind of let Tampa know, like, hey, this is, they're not going to roll over and die. That, we're not happy to be here. And so much is made of, like, this is the problem that I think we have as Ranger fans, and Jim, you and I talked about this, is like when 2015 happened, like when they lost, it felt like the music died. Like that was the end of that group. Whereas this is year one. Like this is gonna, if they lose here, this is not the end of them. But you have to like not fall in that trap. I think what we were talking about on my show before the Carolina series, like I don't want to say house money. It's been said. You were kind of playing with house money. I hate that mentality because if you don't win, you lose. But they have an opportunity here. I think game one, I think, is crucial. I think that if they can win game one, you give yourself the ability to then lose in Tampa and not get freaked out about it. If you get back to game 5-2-2, you're okay. Like I think game one, the Rangers need game one more than Tampa needs game one, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. That's a great way of looking at it as far as I'm concerned.
And again, just to your point, Brian, opportunities. You've got the top two teams in the conference. They're gone. They're out. Tampa's formidable. They're the champions, but you've got the top two teams in the conference are out. Next year could be total. Anything can happen next year. Rangers could be the 8th seed next year and have a much tougher road to hoe. You just don't know what's going to happen. The moments here, they got to, we'll see if they can seize it. You never know that you're never sure. You can't get, next year's not guaranteed. Anything can happen next year.
Yeah.
Got to seize it.
I said coming into the year from a salary cap perspective, like this was their actual best chance to win something before Mika's extension and before Fox's extension actually take hold. Now, having said that, no, I did not expect them to be here. But I'm saying, like, realistically, like I thought that this was their best shot, and I think it still is from a numbers perspective. And again, next year is going to look very different, and who's going to be back. Hopefully, not Ryan Strome. I know, whatever, but it is going to be a different team, and it's going to be a different group, a different vibe, a different everything. And then when you have that energy like this, Eddie, you mentioned it. Like sometimes you get that magic. Like sometimes it's just that's sports, and they have it right now.
Look at the Canadians from last yeher. I think the team was terrible, and they found some magic in the playoffs, and they went back to being terrible. So,
another thing, Rangers won 52 regular season games this year, kind of out of nowhere. Next year, they're not going to surprise anybody. They're not going to sneak up on anybody. So there's no guarantee they win 50 games next year, which means there's no guarantee they finish second. Nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, and isn't just going on to next year, is Chris Kreider going to be a 50-goal scorer next year?
No.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Probably not. But, they found sometimes these teams, they grab some kind of, I don't know what it is. It's some intangible.
Ride the lightning.
Yeah, it's just
ride the lightning.
Yeah.
Here's a thought for you. So I was talking to Jimmy Tolkien today. He's like, what's sickening? I'm like, what's that? He's like, does this mean Dolan was right?
He got his playoff revenue. I'll say that much. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water.
Yeah, the tickets are not inexpensive. I can tell you that firsthand. They're not.
Yes, I will also tell. I also think I think his petulance and his, I don't know what the other word I'm looking for is, his stupidity. I'm going to say that he kind of walked into it. And I feel like was he really right? Did he really think this through? I don't believe he did. I think he was just going on emotions and playoff revenue. And, that's all he cares about.
I got a better and worst case scenario question.
Uh-oh.
Does this mean Sather was right? Because I guarantee you this Dolan did not make this decision by himself. I will go to my grave believing that. Does this mean Glenn Sather was right?
I don't care. If they win the cup, I don't care who was right.
I don't care.
All is forgiven, right? All is forgiven. We always say that. All is forgiven.
It's true. When Sather said he could win the cup if he had, New York's money and all that stuff. Listen,
it only took him 25 years.
Don't think that. Whatever it takes. I have no pride with the being humble if the Rangers win the Stanley Cup and taking back everything I have ever said. Gunhead Son says I look like an egg with a beard. Thank you. I appreciate that's the kind of look I've been trying to go for many years. And
Hey, man, listen, eggs are worth a lot of money these days.
Was that who was picking?
Eggs are worth a lot of money.
Eggs
I would
are
say I'm a
worth a lot of money.
Fabergé egg.
Yeah.
Just the ShopRite dozen of eggs is worth a lot of money.
You follow my Facebook, don't you, Jeff?
So I'm very excited. I'm gonna go with Brian. I feel like we're playing with house money, but I still want to win. I ain't giving up. I'm not gonna be rooting any less.
But isn't all the pressure on Tampa right now? I think it has to be.
I think it has to be. They haven't played. They want to win a Stanley Cup. and I did get some solace from another Brian point. Was last year they barely beat the Islanders. So the Islanders are offensively challenged. We know that. And they have to play that guy. The Rangers, I think, are a much better team now than that Islander team was last year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. There is some bias baked into that. But
just because it's biased doesn't mean it's wrong.
Right. Exactly.
So I like I said, they win game one. I think everybody starts taking notice. Like if they get their asses handed to them in game one, then people feel differently about it. But they played really, really well at home. And Jim, you said it. I've been texting you goal songs from games I've gone to. It has been very loud in there, like louder than it's been in a while. Like they've been saving this one up. And look, give this fan base credit. Kreider said it. Like everybody bought into this rebuild. Like everybody was like, we were fine. Like, do what you got to do. Like they were sick of the cosmetic playoff appearances and getting out in the first, second round. Like they wanted a team that could actually make a run. And this is just year one. And I think you want it, but it's like it's going to suck if they lose. They're not done here. There's a good window that they've opened up. Cap's going to be an issue. We'll see where it goes. We'll see who gets cut as a result of long deals for Trouba and Mika and everybody else. But you got a shot here, and they're playing very, very well with a ton of confidence. And they're I asked my friends who are not fans of the team. They agree that this is a likable team. Like the players on the team from the outside looking in, they are a likable bunch. They're not like Brad Marchand in Boston. They're not like those Tom Wilson. Like by the way, thanks Tom Wilson for really screwing up the Rangers. They feel like a team that you can easily root for. And a friend of mine told me that's the most compelling story left in the playoffs is the Rangers.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, other than they're
one of the most likable New York teams we've ever seen.
Yeah,
and there's a little bit of that faux Trouba hate that he's some kind of what was that that kid called him sickening, Mr. Goon, whatever he called him.
Called him a goon.
Yeah, a goon. Please. I don't know what.
All the hits have been clean. I don't want to hear it.
Right.
His shoulder to shoulder. If the guy's head, that's not his fault. Don't skate with your head down.
Right.
I'm sorry your players are getting hurt, but they were clean hits. And,
Rangers getting hit from behind, getting hit by two guys. I mean, first of all, Ryan Lindgren's I saw the list of the open. He can play in any area. You're 1,000,000% correct. And like, I wasn't like in love with giving him. He has just like so many of these kids have just like come into their own this year. Like that's been the difference. Like when the vets are on a milk carton, these kids come up and they play. I mean, Lafreniere's Hedl. How many waiting for Hedl to do something? Unbelievable couple games here when they needed him.
He's been fantastic.
Jen and I were watching the there was a YouTube clip of Hedl and Panarin and Shesterkin. It was actually from after Game 6, but we're watching it today, and we're looking at Hedl sitting there with the other two guys, and I said, Hedl looks like a man now. Jen and I met him before the game 2 years ago, before the shutdowns, and he still looked like he was 14 years old. But you look at Philip Hedl now, and he just looks like he's matured. He looks like
my wife mentioned it. She said, "Look at his face. He doesn't look like himself, like he did 2 years ago."
Right. he looks like a man. He's got, just his, his face. He's filled out a little bit. He doesn't look like a 16-year-old kid anymore, and he's certainly not playing like it. And I couldn't be happier because for a long time I'm wondering why the hell did we burn a first-round pick on this guy?
Let me ask this question, Jim. You said before you felt his future was at wing. Do you still feel that way?
I'm not
because
sure.
they're looking for a number 2 center next year. They don't know what they're going to have.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Somebody's got to come in with this team in the offseason and work on faceoffs. Somebody besides a referee, maybe somebody that actually takes faceoffs. That's July's problem. That's July's problem.
Yeah,
I'll start worrying about that on July 4th.
I think what's going to happen is Strome is not going to be re-signed, and they'll probably keep Kopp as kind of a stopgap until they can find really a number 2 center, and then maybe somewhere Heedle could move to the wing, but it's going to take a while. I mean, it's so thin.
But isn't it wild that we're here and we have so many problems and it's okay? Like, it blows my mind.
Yes,
sometimes
they still got to tweak a lot of stuff, but they have the resources to do some of this stuff. So
even Gallant said to the media last night, "We're not a perfect team, but somehow we get it done." No plan, no options. He doesn't talk to the players before the game, after the game. I don't know what he does. I don't know if he knows half the guys on the team, but somehow this is all working.
And that's another thing, really. You think Toronto was like this for Tampa Bay? You think Florida was like this? They don't want to play a team that actually, like, when the chips are down, like, they bring their best. Like, this is a completely different animal. I hate blowing our own team. This is a completely different animal than they saw in Toronto than they saw in Florida. These are night and day.
Right.
That's true. And those teams had,
this team just doesn't, this team just doesn't stop coming at you. Carolina had to be thinking at some point, what do we have to do to put this team away? It had to have crossed their mind. What do we have to do? They just won't go away. Chris Kreider said it. I call us cockroaches. We don't go away.
You can stomp on it. We're just not leaving.
Right.
And
there's I know I keep making Rocky references, but there's that one scene, and I don't remember if it's Rocky 1 or Rocky 2, where Apollo just beats the shit out of Rocky. Rocky gets up and just goes like this, and Apollo's just got this look on his face like, what the hell do I have to do to beat this man? That had to have crossed Carolina's mind.
They start hulking up like Hulk Hogan. They start pushing at him,
It had to have. I mean, they just, there's just no, Danielle Stewart said it before in the chat room. Whoever came up with the "No Quit New York" slogan deserves a raise.
Oh yeah, they live it. Like it's not a marketing tool. Like they have lived this. And like I go back to the Pittsburgh series. Like, how bad did they look after game 4? They had just allowed 7 goals a game in 2 games in Pittsburgh. And they found a way to get out of that.
Right.
Who does that?
Not that I care about either one of those fan bases, but it must be very frustrating to watch your team pretty much dominate the entire series and lose in Game 7 where they couldn't close the deal. They couldn't get it done. And that's because the Rangers just never give up. They have a confidence that I can't even think of as a Ranger fan because I've been let down so many times, but they seem to just get their head together and get it done.
I was reading this actually. Yeah.
Bill Chadwick's very active today. And John Newman says, if Rant did not go down, would we still get 6 last night? Yes. Of course.
Yeah.
But maybe only 5, but they only needed 3. So
Antti-Raanta, they solved him.
They broke him in Game 6,
and he was so tired, Sean.
Oh yeah, I remember how they were. What a playoff he's having.
Does it just like boggle everybody else's mind? Like, why do the broadcast hate the Rangers? Why does the NHL, like, if it were me and I was going to rig the thing, I would rig it for the Rangers so I'd make more money.
More money, right.
Like, why do I give a shit about North Carolina and South Florida and places where you can get tickets on game day for $50. Like you have to basically give a kidney to go to a Ranger playoff game. You can walk to the door and get tickets the day of in these places. What are we doing?
Right.
I don't
I don't
understand.
know. I try to play it back in my mind. I think there's a feeling in the league that the Rangers always kind of get the big guy, like the big hottest free agent. I don't know if it. I don't know, but I feel like every announcer has some kind of agenda against the Rangers.
It's that arrogant fan base of the Rangers. They never shut up. They never stop. They're very mouthy.
Well, yeah, we are. You yourself is trolling another guy who's a Pittsburgh fan on YouTube. But I would figure professional announcers wouldn't be so obvious. Even with this stiff Bissonnette, he goes off and he's like, what's wrong? I mean, I don't understand. What did we ever do? What have we ever won? I mean, it's not like we have a history of winning to piss off everybody.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get it. No, I try to reason it why. And sometimes I think it's a little some Ranger fans, they go to the extreme with it. But you could see how obvious it is with everybody. Even when they go to Chelios and Messier. Messier, of course, is going to be, but Chelios is like, it's everything's a fluke, So, but I don't give a shit.
I couldn't care. Ray Ferraro is overt about it. Like you can tell in the cadence of his voice, he just cannot stand when they're doing well. Like it literally offends him to his core.
Yes, I think they had bets. I think they have bets. I mean, everybody's betting now, so I mean,
I felt like Ray Ferraro was like an assistant coach for the Canes.
Yeah.
But
if they get one here, watch the. Oh, never mind.
Right. Never mind.
That was like
another one in the next 5 minutes. Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's just so wonderful, man. I'm just so happy. So many years. I mean, we had to put up with such crap. And you know what? Listen, I'll sit here all day and say I don't care about the Islanders, but the Islanders' success, it bothered me. I mean, of course.
They were a goal away from winning the whole thing last year, and we need to not forget that. Like they were very close, and that would not have ended well.
I mean, just think about it. If we do beat Tampa Bay, and the Islanders couldn't get it done, and the Rangers are in the Stanley Cup, that fan's going to be on suicide watch. All those Islander fans.
I wonder, will they be showing these games at Borelli's? Do we know?
I got one thing to say to that.
What? I can't hear it.
So long.
Oh, okay.
Best of luck to you.
Best of luck to you, dumb.
Brian, are you going to any games in the third round?
I believe I'm going to game 2. I'm waiting on clearance. I need to make sure I have a babysitter because I committed to watching Braden on Friday night. As long as I get a babysitter, I'm good to go to game 2.
You bring Braden up here. You can watch the game with me on the patio.
He loves kids. Not me.
He's been actually wanting to watch the games. Like this has been a great year. Like this is
how old is he now?
He's 4. He's 4.5-ish, and he's been he wants to play the Rangers goal song in the car. And if you don't think that makes me smile from ear to ear, it's unbelievable. And I came home for the other day. He has Rangers jersey on. He asked to put it on. My wife Mary, she's like, he wanted to put it on. Fantastic. That's working. Awesome. It's working.
Good.
I want to pass down my misery too. You can deal with it as well.
My daughter texted me at 7:30 last night, and she said, "Dad, I'm on my way home to put the game on." And she was texting me through the whole game. She's like, "I'm nervous, Dad. I'm nervous." I'm like, "You gotta just pace yourself, have faith." Yeah. She actually said to me, "I wish this game was at MSG." I'm like, "It'll just if they play their game, it'll be okay." I'm trying to calm her down. Meanwhile, my inside, I wasn't nervous until they got a lead, and then it's like, it's 1-0. I'm like, okay, it's 1. And then it's 2-0. I'm like, oh my God. And then they start showing you these stats. Yeah. The team that scores the first 2 goals in a game 7 has won 999 games.
75% of their games.
Here's 25% right here.
And I can only see two words in my head: epic collapse.
Right. And then 96% with 3-0, and I'm going.
Right. And then they
play
show
the whole game
You're
out
just
in your
thinking of
mind.
Valerie
Rangers-
Zelapukin with 7.7 seconds.
Oh God.
Right. And then they show what was the other one? Rangers have scored first in 7 straight game 7s or something like that and won them all. And I'm like, oh God, don't show me this stuff. I don't want to think about that type of stuff.
Speaking of which, when they were showing stats, I was very conflicted with the Kreider being second overall behind Gilbert on playoff goals, because I'm like, is it the Rangers are so terrible? Like, is it because their futility in the playoffs that he's even that close?
Yep, that's exactly it.
It's kind of a
it's also a matter of, there weren't 4 rounds of playoffs when Gilbert played, and there weren't 7-game series. So, and Chris Kreider has how many playoff series has Chris Kreider played that didn't go 7 games?
Sure,
not a lot.
Maybe I bet it's no more than 3.
It's probably the ones they just lost, like Torts. What they lost to the Bruins, I think, in a second round, was it?
Yeah, and they lost that in 5 games, I want to say.
You're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was
they lost to Ottawa in 6.
They lost to the Devils
I
in
hate
6.
that series.
They lost to the Devils in 12 and 6.
JG Peugeot.
Those are probably the 3. The Devils series, the Ottawa series, and the Bruins. Those are probably the only series Chris Kreider's played in that didn't go 7 games. The finals.
Pittsburgh. No, well, they also lost to Pittsburgh in 5 games in 16.
Oh, and the Stanley Cup.
The Eric Stahl era of New York Ranger hockey.
Oh, and the Stanley Cup was 5 games.
Yep.
Okay, so 5 series. I was wrong. Still seems like every series is 7 games.
They don't make it easy. Brooksy said, like, if they had gotten through like Washington in like 5 or 6 games that year, they probably won the whole thing in 12. Like that run. I remember coming on your show and saying, we are entering the golden era of Rangers hockey. Should we go get Rick Nash? And I'm like,
right.
Yeah. I'm thinking back to that now, like, wow, what an asshole. But
Dominic,
well, thanks for coming on, Brian. Enjoy game 2.
My pleasure as always. I love you guys. I love coming on talking hockey with you guys.
Yep.
It's a pleasure.
Always great talking to you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Blue Truth. Check his pod out.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's have some more to talk about. Let's have some reasons to complain about the heat in New York in July for a parade.
How bad the ice is.
Terrible.
Take care, my friend.
All right, take care, Brian. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right.
Dominic Milford is making some comments in the chat room. I'm digging. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
here's to you.
Oh, he's eating his humble pie.
Yep.
About what?
Everything.
Come on.
He's giving up after game 1, game 2 of every series. All his
game 5, I was like Kings in 7 because they played like ass in game 5.
Now he's eating humble pie.
What kind of pie is that really?
It's probably like an apple.
Apple pie, but we can call it asshole pie for tonight.
Come on. You're not
no ice cream on top?
Nah. Next time.
And next time.
And I got the
Hawaiian Punch?
The Kool-Aid.
Oh.
Are you drinking the Rangers Kool-Aid now?
Yeah. No. Or the AEW Kool-Aid for.
Oh, man, that was some pay-per-view, bro.
Oh, it's great, man. It's fucking great.
But back to hockey. So
wait a minute. Can I ask? I have the two of the biggest wrestling fans in our lexicon here. Did I read correctly that Ric Flair is wrestling again?
Yes.
73 years old. He's in training to wrestle.
His last match.
How many is
Hulk Hogan?
How many last matches does this make for him?
3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's like Motley Crue or
more
Ozzy.
farewell tours than Kiss, right?
Yeah.
I don't. I would say that Costa is much more of a overall bigger wrestling fan. I only follow one company. He follows the multiples, although he is so. Anyway, yeah,
but
I don't know what
you're tuned in. You know what's going on.
I didn't hear the Ric Flair thing. I really didn't hear it. It's stupefying that this guy wants to wrestle. he's brain dead already. So I mean,
Hey man, what's it called? 80 years old.
Who's
Iron
80?
Sheik is 80 years old. Iron Sheik. He did every drug. He's like Keith Richards.
I
man.
know.
A to Z, Bubba. A to Z. The green gimmick, the white gimmick. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, a
All
wrestler.
right, so Costa, what are you thinking going into this series against Tampa? You going to watch?
Of course.
All right. Well, I'm just checking.
Now they're playing with house money. Are you still going to get aggravated?
Now I'm all in.
Okay.
I'm all in, man.
Now he's all in.
Now I'm all in.
All they had to do was beat Pittsburgh and Carolina in 7 games. Now he's all in.
Well, you got to give him some satisfaction. Then he's ready.
Yeah. Hey, we should do a wrestling show, man. You and me, Ed.
Watu K99 says, "This are you related to Adam Bartolo? Because he's the same guy who."
That is Adam. That is
it
Adam.
is Adam. I was gonna say, Adam, weren't you at the game? No, that was Adam at the game last night?
Adam was at the game last night. Yes.
You got to give us some. You got to give us,
I don't understand why you won't watch AEW now that Ring of Honor is done.
No.
AEW bought him.
Yeah, she bought Ring of Honor.
But Adam won't watch it because AEW is involved. What do you?
You know why? Because he's a fucking e-drone.
He's a what?
He's an e-drone.
An e-droner?
Yeah, WWE drone.
He doesn't follow that shit, does he?
Yeah, he loves them. He loves them. He hates AEW. Because WWE makes so much money. Oh, okay. Let me tell you something.
Boring.
You take away all their fucking TV.
Boring.
If you take away WWE's all
right,
WWE
we'll save
TV.
that for the wrestling show.
All right, yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah. Anyway,
I'll gladly moderate a wrestling show between the two of you and just sit there.
No, me and Costa agree. I would have to say that in the goofy world of wrestling, me and him are pretty simpatico on wrestling and what we think. It's like how me and you are in hockey. You know, how we go along the same lines of thinking, except Costa's just much louder and just he'll go up to a stranger at a wrestling event and just start talking. He's very social.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's very social because that's his community.
Okay.
Anyways.
Those are his people.
That's his people, man. I've been to events. He
So
starts
what are your-
talking with everybody and anybody, and then tells
What
them
are
how
your thoughts
wrong
on
they
the
are.
Tampa series, Costa?
What?
What are your thoughts on the Tampa series?
Score the first goal. Just score the first goal, and then make again. What every they won Game 7 because they scored the first goal, and I said this: they need to score the first goal. If they didn't score the first goal, forget about it, because the Canes would have fucking played trap hockey all the way through the end of the game.
Would you agree with me, sir, that I feel like the suits have not come back to Madison Square Garden after COVID? They were there before COVID.
Of course. You know why?
Not here
They're
now.
all working from home now.
Because the fans are.
Oh, the fans. Now that place is fucking loud.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name said the same thing. Matt Morello said the same thing. The suits are not coming back because now they're all playing. They're all working from home. Why would they want to go out? Why?
Andrew is giving me some.
They don't got
to sass in this chat room. I kind of like it.
They don't got to wine and dine clients anymore and taking to the Garden for games. This is now what they do now. This is what they do now. This is what they do now.
No more going to Beefsteak Charlie's?
Nope.
They mentioned Pat Patterson in the chat room. Hey, Costa, isn't there the rumor that Pat Patterson was a
Fanoke? Yes, he was a Fanoke.
And very inappropriate in the dressing room.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I heard that.
The rumor is him and he had a thing with Piper. A little running with Piper.
Oh.
A little bit.
Now Piper wasn't.
No, it was like almost like molested. He was almost like molested.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. See, only on this wrestling show can you hear
What's
that.
the name? What's his name was Finoke too. Steve Lombardi was a Finoke.
Steve Lombardi.
Yeah, Steve Lombardi.
I don't remember.
Baller. He was a Finoke.
Beefsteak Cholies.
Beefsteak Cholies.
Beefsteak Cholies.
Oh wow. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll get a wrestling show. Once the Rangers win the cup, we'll go switch over to wrestling in the offseason. Jim can moderate.
Yeah,
Right.
Yep.
He's like, I don't want
to. Fuck yeah.
All right. So get the first goal. Any other nuggets of wisdom?
First goal, I mean, yeah, fuck the Carolina fans. Fuck those fucking fans. Hakta, as I Chic would say.
Fugazi fans.
I said this. When they start losing, they'll crawl right back into the woodwork.
What about you?
And crawl.
The Rangers will go down 1-0. You disappeared and you come back. Anyway, all right. We're done with you. I love the man. Stay safe. Don't fall down on camera. All right. You're up to 200.
Yeah. I might flip over a desk during the series if I see any shenanigans.
Last time I checked that video, it said 200 plus. So people must like. I don't think you've seen that one. Anyway,
thank you. I'll be here all week. Try the fish. Bye.
All right, take care, my friend.
Bye.
Yes, Cutter. I know you know wrestling too. I don't know what you're watching though anymore. There's Connor wearing his New York Ranger jersey.
What a beautiful jersey that is.
Yes.
Well, I figure, we're playing with house money, so I always want to get the house money jersey out.
Can you do any shadow puppets for me on the back?
No.
Can you go like this?
No, this is my evil twin. He's well known for drinking heavily and passing out. I self-identify as two-spirited. Apparently, my other spirit identifies as an obnoxious drunk.
So how you feeling? Wait, yes, Chris Frenzel wants to know. Yes, we hate the ESPN broadcast. We've gone extensively on Ray Ferraro was trying to coach the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah. Honestly, the ESPN broadcaster makes Joe Micheletti look like a homer.
Yeah.
There you go. But no, I mean, I mean, what else can you say? It feels great, and I'm just putting it out there. You can put in writing, Rangers in 7.
I can't.
All right.
You're bucking the system. You're going. I don't care how many games it is. Just Rangers keep winning.
Well, you got to think. According to all these analysts and everything, we're not even supposed to be here. Now we beat Pittsburgh, who everyone had bends over for. Eddie, did you know the Penguins work really hard? And then we beat the league darling in Carolina. So I mean, we've been the underdog before, and not to mention the fact that we really took it to the Lightning in the regular season. And I know the playoffs are a crapshoot year, but I mean, momentum is on our side.
That's right, baby. Well, I came over to Jim's way of thinking. I didn't think of this. I didn't come over there, but I mean, if you would have told me the Rangers would have to beat Tampa in order to win the Stanley Cup, I would have been like, I'm the way I am now. I'd say that, it's even. Like, it could go either way. The Rangers could beat these guys.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Carolina was the only team that really scared me in these playoffs, other than Calgary, but they're yesterday's news. Nonetheless, we've beaten Carolina. We've shown that we can beat Tampa. So as far as I'm Cutter, just to answer your question, it's blank, but you know, it's vintage. It's Cosby's actually. But no, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we've shown we can beat the big guys. Why wouldn't we show that we can clearly make the Stanley Cup? And I am the pessimist of all pessimists.
Oh no, you're not.
In the beginning of the season.
Yes, you were. You know, you've come a long way.
I'd say we all have. I mean, I'm sure that plenty of us weren't exactly super excited about that Kreider contract when the ink dried on it. Now that's looking pretty damn good for us.
Yeah, that looks like a sweet deal. So what do you think of the keys for the Rangers in this series?
Defense needs to show up. When the defense shows up, we do that much greater. When the defense blows it, we lose, as we saw in Pittsburgh. So defense needs to show up. We need our most promising guys like Chris Kreider and Igor Shesterkin to play like they've been playing in the big games. And, we just need to make sure that Gallant, the wascally wabbit hunter, is consistent with his lines and doesn't test with them as he is keen to do. And as long as we get those consistencies going, then I think that the puck is in our court.
Okay, some good.
Am I Woodstock?
I don't know. As I've gone on record on this show, as I hate Charlie Brown.
Oh my God! Well, you know what, Eddie, you're a real Lucy to all of us. Always.
Thank you. Dom said Letang is still fresh, by the way.
All right, Connor, anything else?
Nothing else. You know what? Cheers, and here's to hopefully another Game 7 winning series as the last two have been for us. And also one other thing is I was walking by the Empire State Building yesterday, and apparently the storm has eclipsed. There we go.
There you go. Very good. Very good set today.
Take care, Connor.
Cheers.
We'll talk to you later.
Connor workshopping some new material.
Yes, make sure to check out Connor at the Chuckle Hut in Patterson, New Jersey. 2 drink minimum.
It's true. I don't like John Cooper's face, but there he is.
They're coming out of the woodwork.
He's the All-Star. He's one of the All-Stars.
Right.
Tony D'Angelo is a yummy, yummy cupcake. Yummy, yummy cupcake. Fuck him. Fuck him and his fuse.
That's right.
Fucking right.
What's up, Cutter?
Oh, I am in a good mood. You know it.
How many have you had?
Just this one.
Just one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're going to smash it on your head for us?
It's cold.
What are you drinking? Is that Bush? Oh, okay. Labatt's. Okay.
He's usually drinking Labatt's, except that one time he drank that rhubarb beer.
Yeah, one night he was drinking
I know.
some American beer.
On my part. Yep. Anyway, there's 2 other people I have to say yummy yummy cupcake up to. So second is, and I know it's gonna be bad, but I'm gonna say it. Costa, it was being a yummy yummy cupcake. Why the hell would you pick Canes in 7? Are you nuts?
Oh, he picked the Canes in 7 against us?
It's reverse psychology.
Freaking Facebook post Canes in 7, and I'm like, what the hell, Costa? Jeez. And people question my loyalty to the Rangers.
It's reverse psychology.
I know my fan loyalty is not number 1 with the Rangers. It's number 2. But the fact of the matter is I stay in the Facebook group. I watch the Rangers game. I do whatever it takes. And I didn't give up on the Rangers. Every year I say Rangers in the playoffs. And lo and behold, they're in the conference final. First time in 7 years.
Chris Fred's remark. I don't think he's ever seen you, Cutter, before. And he said, what the hell is going on right now?
I know. There's
I'll tell you, Cutter is a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, but he also is the Rangers. Is like number 2, right?
Rangers are his adopted team.
And he lives in Kitchener, so he roots for the Kitchener Rangers. So there's something there. He's somewhat of an expert as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and it's almost been 12 years since I started with you guys. Almost.
That's right.
I can't wait.
So did you watch the Game 7?
Truth be told, I was actually late getting to the watching.
Blow them up.
I had my Monday night group. So
okay. Well, that's
it was like 2-0, and I'm like, do I watch the game or do I just leave it off because I might jinx us?
No jinxes. They're all off.
So after 2 periods, I saw the score, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm watching the 3rd period. Continue support. Oh yeah, Martin is pissed off that I made fun of
because you don't know. I don't know too much.
I was supporting Liverpool in the Champions League final on Saturday.
Oh well, Liverpool's different than Manchester United, right?
It is. They are. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not much of a football or a soccer fan, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I know a little bit. But isn't Manchester United like rooting for the Yankees in baseball? Like basically, it's like a chump team. Like every newbie or whatever roots for the United match.
Like bandwagon fan. Well, when Man U was good, they came out of the woodwork and would cheer for United. But they've been sucking ever for the past 2-3 years. So
now. Just again, I'm ignorant. I know we covered wrestling. We're going to cover soccer now, but this Real Madrid is playing who?
Real Madrid played Liverpool last Saturday to be the top European soccer club, and Real won.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that happened. Wow, getting updates from this Oiler. It's 3-2 Colorado.
Shit.
1-1 a minute ago.
I know. They're scoring like crazy.
Yeah, because they said Edmonton and Colorado score 4.3 goals a game now in the playoffs. So they're saying it's going to be really high scoring. So proof positive.
Well, it's almost like the tale of two different the conferences. It's like the old days where the West is like a freaking gunslingers and we're over here playing defensive hockey.
That's true. Well, I mean, every team in the East got 100 points in the playoff, the playoff teams. In the West, there was 1 or 2 that didn't get him, but it was
New York Ranger fan picked. I'm sorry to interrupt you. New York Ranger fan picked Carolina in 5. Where? Yes, we're gonna get a wrestling soccer show going on.
Edmonton scored at 5:04 of the first period. Then Colorado scored at 5:40. Then Edmonton scored at 15:10. Then Colorado scored at 19:37, Edmonton scored at 19:37, and Colorado scored at 19:46. Goals are coming fast and furious.
No, that Mike
Can
Smith is atrocious.
we talk more soccer and wrestling, please?
No, all right, we'll stop. We got to stop. Cut.
Can we move on to the French Open in tennis?
So, I don't watch tennis or golf. All right, so
yeah, I would, but obviously I'm not gonna do it.
Anyway. So you got to watch more of these games. And what games did you watch? You just want to come on this show and drink beer and show us how tough you are?
Well, I pretty much watched all 7, so.
All right.
I didn't give in.
I'll ask you this. I probably have asked you this before, but.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to move the show along here so Jim can get some dinner. I wanted to ask you, who is your favorite Ranger currently now?
That's the
Derek Brassard, Benoit Pouliot. I mean, how far are you behind?
No, it was Brassard, and then I basically just said I can't let one Ranger break my heart. So I'm like, it's a team.
Oh, you don't want to commit.
I know.
Okay.
I don't.
I'd rather have them all break your heart.
I will love Derek Brassard forever and ever because he got us Mika Zibanejad.
That's correct.
That's right.
And I don't want to hear from Ranger fans, oh, Rick Middleton, oh, we never get the better in the trade. Oh, Rattel left us, so Emil Francis. We have ripped off, in recent memory, at least 3 or 4 teams. Rick Nash for Ryan Lindgren, please. Joke.
And picks.
And picks.
And other players.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Zabinajad from Broussard? Go even back to Bob Gainey when we freaking ripped Ryan McDonough off from them for Scott Gomez. So they've been more good than epic bad trades as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
Recently, yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Cutter, anything else? Give us a prediction.
Okay, prediction is Rangers in 7 because of the extra home game method. But I didn't tell you the third person I have to say Yummy Yummy Cupcake too.
Please do.
Okay.
And that is Mandor, you're a yummy, yummy cupcake. Yummy, yummy cupcake. Fuck you. Fuck that shit. You're not in this group. I win, you lose. Suck it hard and suck it dry.
Yeah.
And Morello thinks he can be worse than Mandor. He won't be. Mandor was a bigger prick than you, Morello.
I will agree.
And let me tell you, he was chicken to give me a rematch for hockey trivia. I know you guys love to see me go down in flames, and I did, and we all got a good laugh. But still, like, I lose again, and then then you guys can laugh at me.
Dude, what's up with the chairs? What'd you say? Oh, with the chairs. All right, here we go. We've got it. Yeah, we've got it. And I will agree with you. Mandar is a bigger prick than Matt Morello will ever be. Yeah. That's a man.
That's your fucking brain, Mandar.
Yeah.
We're in Carolina country, and you guys just fucking lost. It's over. It's over. Ow.
All right. Oh, I think look, he's hurt. You hurt? You bleeding?
Nah.
He's bleeding.
He's getting some color, as we say in the
I'm
wrestling.
Canadian. I'm tough.
He can take. He's got a little color. As we
I'm
say.
Canadian. I'm tough.
Yeah, I do have color because of me working the soil compound at work. So, yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Blow him up. No, don't blow him up. He went out like a man.
I got nothing else. Go ahead.
All right. Take care, my friend.
I got it.
Wow. Yeah, Dominic's right. I remember McDavid was pissed that they traded Strome. So,
yes.
Like what the Corsello said. You walked into a situation that's been going for
You walked into the last half hour of the show is what you walked
right.
into.
If you would have came earlier, you would have quality programming.
Right.
Jim's rant was epic. Make sure you work.
And then we watched the numbers just boom, 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 boom.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting for Ranger fans. I'm very psyched. I'm very pleased. I don't know how else you can be with the Rangers. Just again, magical wins. They got a, I don't want to use a fancy word, but a certain je ne sais quoi,
right?
So to speak. So, if this is the part of the show where Jim will agree with me for anything to get off the fucking air.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all.
Okay, but these guys are cracking.
We can talk. We don't have Connor and Cutter call it back in. We can talk for another hour if you want. I don't care.
No, I've pretty much said it. I'm just so glad to share it with all you guys, man, because we get to. And if you've missed it, and Ryan's talking about these Patreon shows, I felt like I've gotten to know everybody even better, and
Patreon shows have been fun. If you're not, if you're not a Patreon supporter, I feel like you're missing out. They've been fun. We have like a group of just like 20, 25 people, and we just kind of sit and rap like this for an hour and 15, hour and a half, and we wrap up every game. We goof around a little bit, talk to the group, and we move on.
Yeah,
get ready for the next game.
I love these shows just as much, and I love seeing the different names I've seen tonight. A lot of different people been in here to celebrate with us.
Steven, we haven't seen Steven in a long time.
Yeah.
What's up, Steve? Steve goes way, way back. I just haven't seen him in a long time.
I thought the COVID got him. No, I'm not sure.
I remember Steve reaching out to me like, God, I bet it's 10 years ago, asking me like he was going to start a podcast about something. I don't remember what. Just asking me how to go about it. And I said, use anything but Blog Talk Radio. That's the best advice I can give you. Had kids in my life ended.
Wow. Well, you look good there.
Now, I'm sure that's not how you really feel. Well, it's good to see you, Steve.
Yeah, we're glad to see you. Ranger winning, bringing back everything.
Everybody comes out.
Yeah. I'm glad, man. I'm glad to see all of you.
I think tradition would show that some of our highest rated shows have been after huge moments or just ridiculously bad losses or firings. Or,
And also, there is when the Rangers are not doing well, you could see our viewership goes down too. People just don't want to hear it.
Right.
Yeah, but we have a lot of fun during the Rangers losing times. We handle it pretty good. But
thank you, Dominic. That's good to know. Dominic says he's been around on and off, lurking around for years. He enjoys what he does.
I tell you, Dominic's made some good quips. You want to do a roll call? I don't even know if we have that clip anymore.
It's hard to do the roll call because you can't see the list of everybody who's here anymore.
Huh.
I mean, I guess you could if you scroll up the chat, but you still might miss a few people. Whereas with Blog Talk, you knew everybody that was in the chat room. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. There'd just be a list. Well, I will tell you this. There will be a roll call the next time we do a show, especially if the Rangers are up. Maybe next week, right? They're they're playing Wednesday, Friday. Do they ever get a break other than 1 day break? No, it's just every other day.
Every other day.
Every
other day of the week is fine.
It's very taxing, though. I got to tell you. I mean,
it is. This has been a tough. It's tough because we're either watching hockey or we're talking hockey. Then we're watching hockey. Then we're talking hockey. Then we're watch back and forth. But that's all right. It's fun. It beats the alternative, which is making up shit to talk about in the middle of June.
Yes, Matthew. I promise I will bring the wheel back too. He's bringing back. He knows all the old bits, which I like. We used to have to do those bits during the lean years,
right?
But so there is 2 days off between 6 and 7, according to.
Is there? I haven't. Steve. You know what? When I looked at the
Take care, Dominic.
They did not have that far ahead.
Okay.
Are there 2 days? So the Rangers got to make it all the way to Game 6 to get a couple of days off, huh? Huh.
Sunday's a 3 p.m. start?
Yes.
And tomorrow's an 8 p.m. Why is it 8?
They're all 8 p.m. Why do you think? TV.
Oh. Yeah, I always have the Swami hat, Chris. I'll make my Ranger prediction. Get the music ready so we do this bit, right? Swami.
You're going to make your predictions as the Swami?
Yes.
Oh, seer of sooths.
I would like to say, again, the voice I do is just terrible.
The one and only Dyke.
The Rangers will win. What, I feel like I'm doing. I don't make this reference. Nobody's going to get it anyway. I feel like the Rangers will win in 6 games. 6. Even though I'm pointing up 7, we go with 6.
Rangers in 5.
Rangers in 5?
5.
5? Okay. I bid you a farewell.
I feel like never mind.
I don't know. We're in Bollywood now, all of a sudden. Oh, boy. Hey, listen, I'm just happy to be here, folks. So I think the Rangers in 6. I'm just trying to I want to be different. I'm saying 6. You say 5? Is that your honest opinion?
Nah, I think it's a long series.
Okay.
I do. Win or lose, I think it's a long series. I believe they can win. I do not believe this is an insurmountable series. Good night, Chris. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, nice popping in, bro.
Good to see you.
All right. Now I think I'm done after I do a bit to end this.
Once you do the Swami, you've done it all.
Yeah, I think that Bollywood routine took my breath away.
That's it.
I gotta get back.
Now you're gonna go have some curry and call it a night.
Oh God, that's disgusting. Oh, Joe, the Rangers are very popular in Bollywood. Yes.
Apparently.
Okay. Well, guys, and gals, I'm so glad you joined us tonight, man. I mean, this is just a ride that I am enjoying, and now we're going to ride the Lightning into the Stanley Cup Finals.
One of the most memorable wins of our fandom last night.
Yes.
Thanks so much for everybody, to everyone for being here. We will see you, those of you who are Patreon members, we will see you guys Thursday night.
Yes.
All right. We will see you guys Thursday night for the Game 1 wrap-up. You can sign up for Patreon. The link is right below the screen here. Sign up for $1 a month, $2 a month. We'll put you in our Facebook group. Come watch the shows. And we'll see you back here on YouTube in a few days.
Let's go, Rangers.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Take care, Jim. It's been
all right. We love you guys. Hope you had fun. We did. Take care. Good night, everybody.
Hey, lady.
Hey, lady.